kind of depends on the setup. Like on the service side, since you deal with all the different types of brands, I mean, I enjoy it because there's a certain challenge as far as, oh, if I haven't seen this setup before, then I'm kind of interested to see how it all works. I've seen most setups, at least most correct setups. Every once in a while something will surprise you. But when it comes to replacement, it's typically what's going to fit best in there. Like if we're talking just your run-of-the-mill kind of 1 horsepower pumps and they had a Hayward super pump in there, if I got to swap out the pump, I'm going with the exact same pump because it's a workhorse and it tends to outlast most of its competition. If we're looking at any of the higher end stuff, you know, if we're dealing with automation or anything like that, I do like Pentair's Easy Touch. I also like Jandy's Aqualink. I really like started playing with that in the last couple of years, and I like some of the stuff that you can do with that. I think it all depends on what's currently there, especially if we're talking about a pad setup. It's what fits best, because if someone has, say, a Stay-Right Duraglass in there, if I can swap it out with that, I would much rather do that than going with, like I mentioned, the Super Pump or even just like a Pentair Superflow or something, simply because of the different heights that you deal with, where a lot of times it's like, oh, you just cut the pipe and you can lower it. Unfortunately, with how some of the setups are, it's not that simple. It also depends on how many repairs were done previously, where if you can swap like for like, it makes your job a lot easier. But if you can't do that, like I said, on the when it comes to pumps, on the kind of the typical 1 horsepower pump, I like the Super Pump. I also like Pentair's Superflow or Whisperflow, depending on what I'm dealing with. When it comes to your more variable speeds, like Pentair's IntelliFlow. Well, I guess when it comes to filters, heaters, and everything else, I kind of like all the brands. I mean, your 3 major ones mostly are Jandy, Pentair, and Hayward, and kind of like using all of them. It all kind of just depends on what the current setup is. If there is no setup on it, I kind of have a preference to start with either Pentair or Jandy.